Hey everyone, welcome back. Big news for NIO fans. NIO ET5 has accumulated nearly 200,000 pre-orders, and the figures is a projection by NIO's sales staff that are based on the numbers of the company's sale outlet in China and the average number of orders received per person according to local media. Now officially, NIO has never announced the numbers of orders for its models. In China, announcing the number of pre-orders has become a marketing ploy for many car companies. There are some indications that the NIO ET5 may indeed have received a large number of pre-orders. NIO has offered some subsidies of its own at the end of each year since its inception in response to the country's EBN EV purchases subsidies, so that those who order before the end of the year don't take a hit, another local media outlet. Now the NIO ET5 was actually launched last year, back in 2021 on December the 18th, and that was around the same time that they began accepting pre-orders. Now the NIO ET5 starts at 328,000 RMBs, that is $47,000 before subsidies, and the price will be reduced by at least 70,000 RMB if consumers choose NIO's battery rental services, that is called BAS or BAAS. Now for consumers who paid the 2,000 RMB to reserve the ET5 now, they can get an option package worth 4,500 RMB for that for free. That reservation amount is refundable at any time. Now last December 19th, William Li, that's the founder, CEO and chairman of NIO, said in an interview with local media that the just released ET5 became the most pre-ordered model ever by NIO. Now subsequently, rumors circulating in China Automotive Forum and social media said that the pre-order for NIO ET5 exceeds 100,000 units, but this was quickly denied by the company. Whether publicly or privately, whether it's about the ET7 or ET5, NIO has never leaked numbers related to orders. And this was said by Ma Lin, NIO's senior director of corporate communication, and this was stated last year in December. So bear in mind, keep that in mind, of course. Now, given the massive internet buzz about the ET5 that are inspired at the time, people are always wanting to know how many orders they've received. But the things that you've got to consider that NIO continues to receive new orders for the ET5 day after day. It's a continually growing demand. You've got to keep that in mind. This company has a lot of demand. There's no question about it. And even more interesting, a lot of NIO fans, enthusiastic NIO fans, has this to say. They find the ET5 is very similar to Chinese-made Tesla Model 3 when it first became available, which severely impacted the sale of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class in Shanghai. How interesting is that? The Tesla Model 3 severely impacted the Mercedes-Benz C-Class in Shanghai. And Mercedes and other automakers are definitely feeling this. Those German automakers such as BMW, Audi, they are feeling the pain. And obviously subsequently they're making strong EV moves into the EV market day by day. Because simply put, they don't want to lose out to these key important customers in these locations. Now in today's report, UK quoted NIO co-founder and president Qing Li Han as saying that the ET5 will outsell the gasoline-powered BMW 3 Series on a monthly basis in the next year. But he did not disclose the number of orders for the ET5. Qin had mentioned this at the Chengdu Auto Show, which opened on August 26, saying that the expected ET5 monthly sale to exceed those of gasoline-powered BMW 3 Series in China within a year. And I wouldn't be surprised by this, because this is an EV vehicle, and this vehicle will have plenty of subsidies. This vehicle will automatically make itself a lot more appealing for buyers, new buyers, especially people who want to get into the EV game. Now, over the past 1 year, NIO has maintained sales averaging around 10,000 units per month, but growth has lagged behind the industry as a whole. And of course, that's due to the difficulty in manufacturing. Not just manufacturing these vehicles due to manufacturing constraints, but also the raw materials, lithium, cobalt, nickel, those are all rare earth materials that are extremely expensive, and they're becoming even more and more expensive day after day. Now, apart from this and everything else that we've got in news to do with NIO, Energy crisis slowing NIO's expansion in Europe, says William Lee, the CEO of NIO. And that's true, there is an energy crisis in Europe at this moment. But thankfully, France isn't being hit too hard, because the entire industry, the energy sector and the energy industry in France is mostly owned by the people instead of being privately held or being held by government bodies. It's more on a people, citizens ownership basis. So it turns out that it's actually better for the citizens if they get a say in what their energy bills are. Their energy proprieties, their energy usage, their energy demands, they get a say. So it will be fascinating to see where NIO goes next in terms of European expansion. The most important thing for NIO is to get a factory in Europe. They desperately need a factory in Europe. They will have a huge amount of demand from the European market, and they understand this. Right now, what they're doing, they're building out battery swap stations. They are launching a few models in Europe as well to test out the market to see how successful it will be. But I can promise you, NIO will be extremely successful in Europe. If you take a look at the current Tesla success, given the fact that NIO will be even more competitive with their charging system, their technology, and the pricing of their car, yeah, they're going to be extremely competitive in this market. So that's good. We've got that to look forward to. Now, what we did hear from William Lee, the CEO, he had this to say, and I quote, "Right now we are behind schedule regarding to the swap station installation, but that is driven by multiple reasons and the electricity cost is one part." So you can see, ladies and gents, the CEO of NIO is not shying away from sharing his honest opinion that the electricity crisis is affecting companies like NIO and possibly other EV companies as well. But that's it for today's news. Thank you for watching, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you in the next one.